Welcome to Rate That Movie, the Flash Edition. We're going to grade this movie on 6 different categories, and we each might give it a point, or we might not in these categories. There are 20 points available that this movie could earn. At the end, we're going to divide that score by 2 to get a score out of 10. So, Doug, you're up first.
That's me.
Category 1 is the plot. So how would you grade the plot on this movie? Did the story make sense? Was it compelling? Doug, go ahead.
It was. There were a lot of different characters who were dealing with different things. The Barry mother saying goodbye at the end was great. Tragedy, funny. I'll give it a point. Definitely. Good plot.
I will give it a point also. I think that they really developed some of the issues that the characters were dealing with. And every character in this movie had some sort of an issue that they had to overcome. And I thought they did a pretty good job of explaining that and actually seeing a good end result. So yes, 1 point.
I thought it was an unusual superhero movie because the main plot, rather than to defeat a certain villain, although it kind of was, it was really more about learning to cope with trauma. And I thought that was pretty deep, so I'm going to give it a point. Category 2, characters. Did the characters have meaningful story arcs? Did they grow? Were they relatable? Doug, you're up.
Absolutely, yeah. Every one of them had issues they had to deal with, and I think they were working their way towards that or did deal with it. And they all had interesting lines. They were funny. They were serious. I dug the characters, so yeah, I'll give it a point.
Yeah, I thought the characters had some growth. One was Keaton's Bruce Wayne. When we first see him, he's alone in a mansion and doesn't have any self-purpose. He finds that. Barry learns how to deal with his mother's death and not be able to change what happened in the past and accepting it. So, yes, I will give it a point also.
This is tricky. Supergirl was introduced in this movie. I feel like she had the potential for a really good story arc, and it was kind of there, learning that not all humans are bad. But, it wasn't very much time that they were able to dedicate to her. However, some of the other characters like Barry, they were really interesting. So I'm going to give the movie a point based on Barry's story arc. So the next question, the next category is the villains. Did this movie give the Flash a worthy nemesis? Doug.
I'm going to have to give this one a 0. The only true bad guy was Zod, and he was about a 10th as good as he was in Man of Steel. So ultimately, the ultimate enemy is yourself, but no, he defeated that enemy. So therefore, it's really not an enemy, it's just he grew. And I don't consider that an enemy. So 0 points from Doug.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was a villain in this film, really, at all. Maybe the guy who broke in and killed Barry's mom when he was 7, but they don't really even tell you who that is. So this was like a villainous-less movie with superheroes, so I'm going to say 0 also.
Yeah, Zod was there, but he wasn't there. And I feel like they kind of just wasted him bringing him in. They should have set him up a little bit, but I guess they're banking on that we've seen Man of Steel. I actually did like that Barry's enemy ultimately was himself. Because if you're time traveling and then you have to face yourself, I think that's kind of a cool idea. I don't have to face supervillains in real life, but I have to deal with myself. So I'm going to give the movie a point in this category. Category 4, stakes. Did this film have stakes? Did it make you feel tension? Doug.
No, because the entire movie, all I was thinking was, never going to see these people again. So 0 points for Doug.
There was never a moment in this movie where I felt tense and I had any type of anxiety about what was about to happen. I did enjoy the movie, but I don't really think that it got me to where I was on the edge of my seat at any point. So no, 0 points.
For the first 3/4 of the film, every time they set up a dramatic moment, they blew it because Jar Jar Binks showed up. Flash number 2. So Flash number 2 embodied the Jar Jar Binks factor. I feel like he interrupted anytime I was supposed to feel something introspective from the film. So I'm going to give it a 0 in this category. But category number 5, what will you do with this one? The boredom factor. Were there any pacing issues? Did the film keep you engaged? What do you think?
Movie started off and they were straight into action and it didn't stop till the end. plenty of jokes in there, too many, but still a lot of them were good. The cameos at the end really kept me going, and yeah, there was not a point in the movie that I was bored. So 1 point for me.
I was afraid to get up and actually leave the theater to get more popcorn, use the restroom or whatever, because I was afraid that I might miss something. So it kept me engaged the entire time. It's a 2.5 hour film, and it felt like it was over in a flash. So yes, I give it a point.
Oh, we're gonna dock you for that. I did not get bored during this film. I might have gotten annoyed a few times at certain characters, but I did not get bored. So I'm gonna give it a point here. And category 6, this is the bonus category, the rewatch factor. If all 3 of us give the film a point in this category, the movie scores 2 bonus points to give it a total of 20. So, rewatch factor. Would you watch this film again, Doug?
All right, so rewatch factor, I'm going to categorize as I go out to find it. Now, if I'm flipping through on a Saturday morning, TBS turns on and it's on, I may watch it. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be the first one to find it on Amazon. I'm not going to look it up because I want to watch the Flash movie today. It's going to be one of those things, if it's on, I might watch it, but I'm not going to try to. So rewatch factor for me gets a 0.
I would watch this movie again, and when it comes out on whatever. I thought it was fun. I probably won't watch it as much as I watch other films, but it might be one of those nights where I'm sitting around going, I got nothing to watch. Oh, there's a Flash. I can watch that. So yeah, I would say I would watch it.
If this film didn't have Michael Keaton's Batman in it, and it didn't have Nicolas Cage's Superman, I don't know if I would watch it again. I mean, if my wife wanted to watch it, yeah, but because it has those factors, I like this new Supergirl, I'm going to say, yeah, I'd watch this movie again. So this does not get the 2 bonus points, but the film scored a 12 out of 20. We're going to divide that by 2 to get a score out of 10. This film scores 6 out of 10. Not bad.
Not bad.
Great, but not bad. Pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this little mini game. We are doing a full discussion podcast of this film and the spiritual themes we saw in it. So look for that on our channel soon. We'll see you next time.